The famous star Betelgeuse could actually be two stars. The stellar binary could explain the red supergiant's pattern of intermittent dimming, but not everyone is convinced. Isaac Schultz reports the years-long dimming and brightening pattern of the huge star Betelgeuse. Don't worry, it's just the second time we've said it. May be due to a much tinier star orbiting the red supergiant. A team of astronomers report that's their new theory. The companion star, if it exists, is roughly the same mass of our sun and may explain Betelgeuse's long secondary period, LSP, a 6-year cycle during which the supergiant dims and brightens. You see, Betelgeuse is not in sync with itself, its fundamental mode, or FM, hence primary way a star pulsates or vibrates, is just 420 days long, much quicker than this other languid pulsation pattern. The recent team posits that a second smaller star in a binary system with Betelgeuse could be responsible for the dissonant patterns. The research hosted on the preprint survey RXIV is not yet peer-reviewed. A companion will make both stars move around their common center of mass, explaining the velocity variations, and it will have an effect on the dust surrounding Betelgeuse, explaining the brightness variations, said Laszlo Molnar, astronomy at Hungary Concolli Observatory, in an email to Gizmodo. This definitely changes how we look at Betelgeuse, and it's hard to grasp at first that a star this well studied might have a yet undiscovered companion. Betelgeuse is a 10 million year old star, a far cry from our sun's 5 billion year old track, and located some 642 light years from our Earth. That's especially bright in the night sky. Betelgeuse is between 15 to 20 times the mass of the sun, so it's huge, depending on who you ask. But one fact is indisputable. The giant star is operating on borrowed time and will eventually explode in a rip-roaring supernova, the event that marks the end of a star's life, save for the neutron star or black hole that's typically left behind. You see, Betelgeuse's turn is burning through its fuel considerably faster than the golden blob of gas on which our life depends. Our sun is slated to die in about 5 billion years. When Betelgeuse, well, we're going to experience a lot of things until that time, of course. When Betelgeuse runs out of fuel to burn, it will expel itself outwards, and what's left of the star will collapse into an ultra-dense neutron star or black hole, depending on the amount of material that does not get caught up in the supernova itself. If Alpha Ori B, to which our team has given the pet name Betel Buddy, is discovered, it would absolutely confirm that the long secondary period is the 2,100-day periodicity, and the 420-day periodicity is a fundamental mode, which places Betelgeuse firmly in its core helium burning phase, said study co-author Meredith Joyce, astronomer at University of Wyoming. If Betelgeuse is in its core helium burning phase, it has about 100,000 years to go before a supernova. In recent years, Betelgeuse has started acting funny. From late 2019 until early 2020, the star dimmed to just 40% its normal brightness, an event dubbed the Great Dimming, and later scientists determined the dimming was due to a huge chunk of surface material spewed up from the star that then cooled into a dust cloud that obscured the star from observers on Earth. Jared Goldberg, an astronomer at the Flatiron Institute, lead author of the research, said that some have suggested LSPs of stars are caused by faint companion stars that drag dust behind them, eclipsing the larger star. However, the team found that Betelgeuse and other stars with LSPs dim when their companion stars are behind the primary star. Ergo, no dust dragging could be responsible, but after considering their explanations, the team doubled down on the companion hypothesis. Such a sidecar star, the Betel Buddy for our relevant supergiant, could modulate the dust gravitationally or irradiate it instead of dragging it behind them. We must keep in mind that there have been several detections claims of Alpha Ori B, Betelgeuse's companion, over the 20th century, said Miguel Montargues, an astronomer at the Sorbonne University and co-author of the 2021 paper in Nature, describing the dust enshrouding Betelgeuse in an email to Gizmodo. Each one has been proven wrong. But it would not be surprising for Betelgeuse to have a companion, Montargues, who was not affiliated with the paper, said. It's a massive star about eight solar masses, and statistics tell us that such stars are rarely born without a sibling. So it's most probable that it is a binary star. We all want to find Betelgeuse's companion, Montargues said, adding that the research could have implications for our understanding of red supergiants. Last year, one team of researchers posited that Betelgeuse would go supernova much sooner than previous estimates, in just 10 years or maybe a couple centuries instead of the 10,000s of years. But other astronomers pushed back, saying that Betelgeuse is firmly in its helium-burning phase, as Joyce noted, rather than the core carbon-burning phase that would mark the end times for this supergiant. The companion itself does not impact whether Betelgeuse explodes tomorrow or in the year 102,024, Goldberg added. However, discovering the companion helps us predict better when Betelgeuse will explode. But it will be difficult to ultimately discover such a Betel body, and that's because Betelgeuse is incredibly simply bright, Moeller said. A smaller, sun-sized star can actually be almost undetectable next to it. Thankfully, almost undetectable leaves more wiggle room than dark matter, which is literally invisible. To me, an especially exciting possibility is to try to use the same technology we use to directly image faint planets around other stars to try to detect companions around really bright stars, Goldberg said. Some of those exoplanets are spotted as they pass in front of their host stars. The planetary bodies themselves block the amount of light that telescopes see from the star, evincing their existence. More measurements, of course, of the big star's brightness can be taken, but they'll need to be carefully parsed to see an enigmatic sun-sized body amid Betelgeuse's brilliant glare. Still, such a discovery would also mean that Betelgeuse is not as far along in its burn as some have suggested. Forget seeing Betelgeuse 3 times. That won't get the star to finally blow its top. Plus, it does not really have as nice a ring to it as Betelgeuse and Beetle Buddy. And this is on Gizmodo by Isaac Schultz. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.